Here we came too far, in the darkest days, don't know where we are, or who we are. Here we came too far, in the darkest days, don't know where we are, or who we are. Here we came too far, in the darkest days, don't know where we are, or who we are. Here we came too far, in the darkest days.
Hi, what up, y'all? Planet of Faithful Families here in Pigstar HH News. We got Armando Baran and Brittany Baran. They were accused of killing a Jonathan Emerald. And basically, Jonathan was having an affair with Armando's wife. He worked with Armando's wife, and I guess that work relationship turned into an extramarital affair. And basically, Armando used his wife's phone to trick this guy to a secluded place. And basically, if I'm not mistaken, I think he made the wife shoot him in the head and then cut his head off. Now, people are asking why she didn't shoot the husband instead of the lover when he handed her the gun. Because he actually was beating her up along the way to meet Jonathan. You see the two black eyes. The amount of sympathy they have for this woman, I don't understand where it came from. She's a liar, she's a cheat, and she's a sneak. I'm not saying that she deserved to get beat up, but she's certainly not a victim. She knew her husband better than anyone. She knew how her husband would react to cheating on him. She knew. And I don't want to hear that she was afraid stuff. You can't be that afraid when you cheating on your husband. And the fact you cheated on him to the point where somebody had to lose their life, I think she should be charged as well as an accomplice. It doesn't matter if he forced her to do this or forced her to do that. She brought this instance on by inviting a third party into their relationship. You understand me personally? I don't mess with married women. I don't mess with women that have men. I won't even mess with you if you look promiscuous. You understand what I'm saying? Due to the fact that I know there's a bunch of losers out here. And more than likely, you have a loser. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're sitting there coming on to other men. You definitely have a loser, you know? And the fact, you know, Jonathan didn't respect the marriage, it just says a lot. And no way am I pointing a finger at Jonathan for being killed. But us as men, we're outnumbered by women. There's no reason we should be sharing women. I don't care what the excuse is. We should not be sharing women. You understand what I'm saying? That's a married woman. Married woman. And this is why people don't respect marriage, because you have people out here married cheating on their partners, and it's just a word. You know what I'm saying? If they just was together for convenience, that convenience just cost her lover his life. Now, people don't want her in jail claiming she's being victimized again. I don't look at it like that. She could have saved Jonathan's life by fighting back. She could have saved Jonathan's life by killing her husband when he handed her the gun. But she didn't do that. She chose to do whatever with the gun, then decapitate him. And she's charged with, like, trying to tamper with evidence. So she obviously tried to cover up for the husband because she held the marriage higher than she held a relationship, an extramarital relationship. And the man she was having that extramarital relationship with, this man's life is gone based on her bad decision making. And I don't want to hear that the husband was mistreating her. That's what divorces are for and things like that. And think about it, if she was getting a divorce and this happened, it would have been a whole different story. You understand? Because you have a soon-to-be ex-husband doing all these things to a woman, not a husband. And that's all I got to say. Send prayers out to Jonathan's family. And let me know in the comments, do you feel sorry for this woman? And what would you suggest she had done when her husband handed her that gun? With that being said, what you heard and saw was the content. For additional content, click the link in the description. Like, follow, share, subscribe, comment, hit hit the bell, visit my community wall, and if you have time, go to www.amor-eka.com/TV. That's our Planet of the Fakes too. We are the new umbrella. Planet
of the Fakes 4 Families. And Pig. Star. HH. News. For educational purposes. Man directed wife to decapitate her lover after he killed him. Cops. Mugshots for Armando Barron, 30, and Brittany Barron, 31. New Hampshire State Police. New Hampshire State Police have announced arrests in the gruesome case of a man who they say ordered his wife to behead her lover after he shot the man in the head, killing him. Jonathan Amaro, 25, of Keene, NH, was killed Sept. 20. His body was found 2 days later at a remote campsite in Coos County, NH, police said. On Friday, Armando Barron, 30, of Jaffrey, NH, was charged with killing Amaro, and his wife Brittany Barron, 31, was charged with decapitating the victim and concealing the body, according to reports that cited a court affidavit in the case. Barron and his wife pleaded not guilty Friday at a court arraignment in Cheshire County, it was reported. They were jailed without bail. The affidavit says Brittany told investigators her husband forced her to cut Amaralt's wrists when he was alive and then to behead him after the murder, the Keene Sentinel reported. The paper also reported that Brittany's lawyer Richard Guerriero said at the arraignment that she only participated in the crime because she feared for her life. This really started with her being beaten severely, Guerriero said, according to the paper. If you look at her face right now, she still has the bruising on her face and around her eyes, and it's described in the affidavit. Armando beat her severely and threatened her. He put a gun in her mouth, an obvious threat to kill her. Police said Amaro was murdered after Armando Barron lured him to a state park using his wife's phone. The affidavit says Brittany told investigators her husband found out she was having an affair with Amaro, a coworker, after going through her phone the day before, Patch Nashua reported. She said after confronting her about the affair, her husband beat her. Her mugshot shows her with swollen black eyes. Investigators wrote in the affidavit that after the murder, Barron ordered his wife to cut Amaralt's head off so that dental records could not be used to identify him, according to the news outlet. A small gravel hole was dug and the head was placed in it and covered with gravel. The discovery of Amaralt's remains at the campsite came after state conservation came across Brittany Barron and told her that she was trespassing and needed to move on, Patch reported. She told the officers, "I am in big trouble." The affidavit says the officers found Amaralt's torso and head wrapped in tarps. Prosecutors said Brittany was being charged, despite her cooperation, because she had many opportunities to report the crime before being found at the campsite, the Sentinel reported. She was cooperative after she got caught, prosecutor Scott Chase said, according to the paper. Thank you very, very, very much. Go to www.amor-eka.
Overnight, the Attorney General's office says it has made 2 arrests in connection to the death of Jonathan Amaralt from Keene, who was found dead this week more than 200 miles from his home. Investigators say Amaralt was lured to Annette Wayside Park in Ringe Saturday night. They say he was shot while being kidnapped. Armando Barron from Jaffrey was arrested early this morning. Barron's wife, Brittany Barron, was also arrested and charged with falsifying evidence related to the murder. Yesterday, the chief medical examiner's office determined Amaralt died from a gunshot wound to the head. His death has been ruled a homicide.
Planet of the Fakes 4 Families. And Pig. Star. HH. News. For educational purposes. Man directed wife to decapitate her lover after he killed him. Cops. Facebook opinions. New Hampshire State Police have announced arrests in the gruesome case of a man who they say ordered his wife to behead her lover after he shot the man in the head, killing him. Jonathan Amaro. It's ridiculous that a woman who was forced to commit crimes, who was beaten and threatened with death, was arrested too. She is a victim who needs support, not punishment. Her husband just murdered someone she cared about and forced her to dismember the body. Stress instincts we have are fight and flight. Another is to freeze. And another is to fawn over an abuser and do as they say. We have a pattern in our culture of expecting people not to have instinctual responses. Panicked and distressed people aren't in their right minds, aren't thinking logically. They're in survival mode. We must understand this and have more compassion. The article makes it pretty clear her husband made her help him, and made her dismember the body. She has been through horrendous abuse. This is the behavior of a chronic domestic violence abuse victim. They don't have the internal strength to leave. Betsy Haskell. I am very comfortable recognizing a woman with 2 black eyes who was forced to dismember her lover as a victim, too. Kimberly. I thought so at first too, but according to the report there was an attempt to help him cover up the crime. There is an entire timeline between the shooting and the decapitation we don't know yet. Really gruesome and horrible. Kimberly Claire Hammill. True, but there were times she was alone without the husband. She could have left the campsite and seek help. I am sure she was scared, I can't imagine. But reading the timeline of events, it makes you wonder why she didn't attempt to leave once he left. IDK. None of us were there and will never know. It's certainly horrifying, and I can't imagine the trauma from this event. Of course she would help her husband cover the crime. I'm sure she was terrified she would go to jail too, which is exactly what happened. She needs help. Deborah Churchill. Yeah, I am sure. And it's hard to know what we would do in a situation like that. Kimberly. Great points. I'm wondering if documented reports of past will resurface and demonstrate a pattern. Until then, I'm going to wait to get info before I paint anyone but the deceased as a victim. Caitlin Jean. Oh, I definitely agree. That man is clearly violent. Very scary. Stockholm Syndrome. Susan Buck. It's never as simple as just leaving. Betsy Haskell. That's wise of you. She cut the BF wrists first, before hubby shot him. Info from the Keene Sentinel.Kimberly Claire Hammill. Don't be afraid to investigate beyond your emotions. Richard Gledhill. What emotions did I express, Dick? Kimberly Claire Hammill. You immediately chose the victim, and then immediately went to FB. You immediately chose the abuser and went to FB. Also fact, victims don't belong in jail. They deserve rehabilitation, not punishment. I know that more than most people. I did not once say it was easy. Betsy Haskell. It certainly is hard to believe this is the first time he was violent. And they have a 9-year-old child. Truly hurts my heart. They show themselves out. SMH. Can we talk about the bigger issue that men don't own women's vaginas, no matter if they're married to them or not, and they're not entitled nor privileged to torture and kill their lovers? It is so sad and so incredibly tragic for everyone involved. Wished we could talk about that before the sensationalism of the decapitation took lead. When the husband handed her the gun, she should have shot the husband in the leg, and made a run for it. Thank you very, very, very much. Go to www.amor-
Jealous husband is on trial for capital murder after he killed a man he suspected was having an affair with his wife. But that's not the worst of it. Prosecutors say the husband then forced his wife to decapitate the man's body. Our Boston affiliate NECN has the whole story.
When 25-year-old Jonathan Amirault of Keene didn't show up for work on Monday morning, he was reported missing. Investigators found his body on Tuesday in a remote part of northern New Hampshire.
You have an event here that is incredibly violent, and you have an event that commands attention.
On Friday, police charged Armando Barron with capital murder, accusing the 30-year-old Jaffrey resident of kidnapping Amirault and then shooting him in the head. Barron's wife, Brittany, also faced a judge Friday, accused of destroying or hiding evidence. Court documents reveal a twisted tale of infidelity and rage.
There was the beginning of an extramarital relationship that was going on at the time.
Brittany Barron told investigators that when her husband found out that she was having an affair with Amirault, he took her cell phone and he used it to lure Amirault to this park here in Rindge, New Hampshire. That's where authorities say Amirault was shot and killed. Brittany Barron told investigators that Armando then ordered her to drive Amirault's body 4.5 hours north, where she allegedly tried to cover up her husband's crime. Armando Barron is also facing several domestic violence charges for allegedly beating his wife while they were driving here to the park to meet Amirault. Reporting in Rindge, New Hampshire, I'm Catherine Underwood.
Both Armando and Brittany Barron pleaded not guilty to the charges. They're being held without bail until their next court appearances. While the state's capital murder law covers deaths during kidnapping and 6 other scenarios, lawmakers eliminated the death penalty last year. So those convicted under the statute are sentenced to life in prison without parole.
What up, y'all? Planet of Fakes, king of content. Thank you for looking at my video. And also, I need y'all to basically follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is it ain't even POTF. It's just planet_of_the_fakes. Planet_of_the_fakes. Subscribe to all my channels too, mainly Planet of the Fakes, Umbrella Corp, POTFS, Planet of the Fakes Women Group, Planet of the Fakes 4KDZ, And make sure you like us on Facebook. Just put POTFS Global News. Thanks for watching our video, and definitely make sure you visit www.amordashika.com/TV, and that's basically where you see thousands of videos on our website, unflaggable, uncopyrightable. You could be there too. Just get your content together. King of content, queens of content, planet of faith too. We are a platform. With that being said, what you heard and saw was the content. For additional content, click the link in the description. Like, follow, share, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, visit my community wall, and if you have time, go to www.amordashika.com/TV. That's our Planet of Faith too. We are the new umbrella, Planet of. And I wanted to bring some things to your attention. Oh, you know I'm going to follow that. You know I'm going to follow that. I'm going to follow that. Oh, I'm definitely going to follow that. I'm following that. I'm following that. Following that. Skip, 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 skip. Skip, 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 skip. Oh, I'm following that. 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 Oh, I'm following that. I'm following